Orientale Lumen, Nur al-Sharq, had their meeting last week in San Diego. They are a group of laity and theologians from the Orthodox and Catholic churches with a dialogue of love and humility. We have with us today Father Collins from the Catholic University of America, a theologian.
I am the Warren Blanding Professor of Religion at the Catholic University of America in Washington. I basically teach New Testament, and for 6 years, my first 6 years in Washington, I was Dean of the School of Religious Studies there, after having served as Professor of New Testament.
What is the key to unity that will unlock the closed, rusty doors?
Well, I think there are actually two keys, from my perspective. I really do think that prayer for unity, prayer for one another, and prayer with one another is a very important key. And I think I would say those three kinds of prayers: for one another, with one another, and for unity itself. From a New Testament perspective, I would like to see us have a common study both of the New Testament scriptures and those scriptures of the early church, the writings of the fathers, particularly those, I would think, of Chrysostom, who was a great interpreter of the scriptures.
Everybody thinks the dawn of Christian unity is upon us. Do you see this in our time or for future generations?
Our time is eschatological time. And so from that perspective, it is certainly in our time. Will it be in our lifetime, your lifetime and my lifetime? You know, I am not really so sure. On the other hand, I do expect that when it begins to happen, I think it's really going to happen quickly. I think right now we are in a process of establishing some bases, some dialogues, this conference here in San Diego. But I think all of a sudden there is going to be a rapid movement towards the unity of the churches. And once that takes place, it will be like a flood. And I think it will take place very quickly.
Usually the prophet in the church could be the priest, or it could be the laity too.
Oh, I'm sure it could be the priest, but I'm also sure it could be the laity. You know, if I look to what is going on in Lumen Orientale, these conferences now that we've had for some 9 years, you know, and I look at Mr. Fiegel, whom you've just interviewed, and we'll see how that shows up on the show. But I mean, Jack has a very prophetic gift, and Jack has been the instrument, I think, of the Spirit in fostering the unity of the church. And Jack, though he has the desire someday of becoming an ordained deacon.
And I thank you, Father Collins, for this beautiful interview, and thank you very much. With us today, Archbishop Vsevolod from the Ukrainian Orthodox Church in the USA.
I'm Archbishop Vsevolod in Greek Pancrati of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church here in the United States. I was ordained by His Eminence, the blessed memory Archbishop Yakovos, and for many years I had been involved in various dialogues with the Catholic Church. Our Patriarch, His All Holiness Patriarch Bartolomeo, is very, very interested and very anxious to continue this dialogue on the international level. Recently, he has appointed several prominent metropolitans to continue the dialogue with the Catholic Church. The metropolitan is one of the famous theologians, Ioannis of Pergamum. I myself have been involved in the dialogue for many years. As a bishop, I'm a member of the Orthodox Catholic dialogue here in the United States for the last 20 years. I was also a sponsor and creator of Kiev Study Group, which we meet with the blessings and sanction of His All Holiness the Patriarch Bartolomeo. Our first meeting was in Oxford, and we continue it for many years until we, with Mr. Fiegel, established this Orientale Lumen, which is very unique in itself, because here we have the participation not only of the Orthodox Catholic, but also the Eastern Catholics and the laity. So not only the theologians and clergy, but here we have also the exposure to the laity, that can participate in these various important issues. After the Vatican II, we have come very close to the rapprochement with the Catholic Church. There are still many obstacles on which we are working hard on both sides to overcome, and I envisage that inevitably there will be a unity and one chalice among us.
You said in one of your talks that the dawn of unity is upon us. How do you see that coming? Is it in our time? Is it a future generation?
Well, I cannot foresee the future, but I can sense that there is an urgency. And because we are living now in the times when the communication is so feasible, internet, fax, radio, we are communicating instantly, and our communication, our dialogue, what happens here today is already known about the whole world. So I feel that because of this technological development, and above all because of the desire of the people, not only the clergy and theologians, but the desire of people to have a one church and be united is most important. And I feel that that's why the desire of the common people will bring us sooner to one unity that we so desire.
Thank you very, very much, Archbishop.
Thank you very much.